Hi, my name is Keith Hall. I'm a CPA and I've spent 25 years working with small businesses just like you. Many new small businesses these days, creating most of the jobs in this country, and many of those small businesses are operating right out of their home, and that may be you as well. So you may have a question about, how do I take the home office deduction? The bottom line is Congress and the IRS has recognized that small businesses operating out of their home should have a deduction for that. Big businesses get to deduct their facility expense, so it only makes sense that we should have that deduction as well. So how do we go about that? Well, if you do operate out of your home, there's really only two requirements. You have to use some space in your home regularly and exclusively for business. Now, the regular part, usually not an issue for us. You're in there all the time anyway. Weeknights, Saturdays, Sundays, the regular part, not an issue. The exclusive part may be more of a problem for us. And unfortunately, the IRS rules, exclusive means exclusive. That means you can't have the baby bed in there, you can't have the kids' video game player in there. It needs to be exclusively for business. Now, the good news is it doesn't have to be a whole room. It can be part of a room. It can be a partition part of a room, just half of a room. But if you have that space that you set aside for regular and exclusive use, you will have a deduction. The best news of all is the items that are now going to be deductible include mortgage interest on the home, real estate taxes, insurance, even the utilities that you pay on the home, which could be a very large number. Even the cleaning lady, a portion of those are going to be deductible. So you see here the Form 8829, business use of your home. As you might know, the IRS is going to ask for another complicated form. I won't point it out too much detail, but you'll notice on this form the words "see instructions" appear 17 times, if you can believe that. But don't get too scared of this form, because once you go through it, relatively straightforward. The very top here you see you got to calculate the business percentage of the room you have set aside. So measure the square footage. If it's a whole room, great. If it's just part of a room, also great. Figure out the square footage of the office. Compare that to your overall square footage of the home, and that's the business percentage. Okay, keep that number in mind because we're going to need that. Now, as you go down the column, there are two columns here: direct expenses and indirect expenses. Direct expenses, not many of us have those, but those are the type of expenses that only relate to that specific part of the house. An example would be if you have a separate heating meter for that one room. And again, that's very unusual for any of us to have that type of thing. So almost all of the expenses we're going to include are going to include the indirect column. So those are expenses that relate to the entire house. For example, mortgage interest and real estate taxes. You see those right here at the top of the form. As you read down, you got insurance. I mentioned utilities, your heating bill, your electric bill, your water bill. All of those type of things are included right here on the form. Adding up all those expenses, multiplying by the business percentage, will then give you the preliminary deduction. Notice here at the bottom, you also get to depreciate a part of your home. That business percentage, based on the value of your overall home over a long period of time, also provides a couple of $100 more probably in the total calculation of the home office deduction. But once you get down to the bottom, the average deduction is about $2,500, which can be very, very useful. That number translates right back over to line 30 on your Schedule C and can certainly reduce the amount of income tax you're going to end up paying. But the key issue here is, if you have a place in your home that you use regularly and exclusively for business, you have a deduction. Download that Form 8829. Don't get scared of it. It is definitely complicated, but go line by line. Make sure you have the support for all the numbers you put on that form. And when it's time to do your tax return next year, you're going to be happy that you filled out that form, because you're going to end up paying a lot less in taxes. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the links above and the links below for more detail. Also, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. If there's something else you would like to see, just let us know. Email us at request@mahalodotcom.